Yet he continued to get a pass over and over again. Even during the Logan County hiring process of Grayson, there were warning signs from another past employer, the Auburn, Illinois Police Department, where he worked.
The sheriff is here is an embarrassment, because this man should have never had a badge. He should have never had a gun. He should have never been given the opportunity to kill my child.
Soon after, Grayson shot Massey in the face, killing the 36-year-old.
I'm not taking hot boiling water to the face.
According to the department, he did not activate his body camera until after shooting her, making it more challenging to verify what happened.
Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. Do we have a video for you today? We're going to be discussing the Sonya Massey killing by Officer Sean Grayson in Springfield, Illinois. Another cop killing. I know, but we have to address it. We all know the system isn't perfect. And it's more of a problem than you think. It's more systematic than you think. And I'm going to give you the top ways we can fix the system at the end of this video. And you're never going to hear this anywhere else, only here. Let's break down the incident in question. 36-year-old woman who has mental problems named Sonya Massey. What happens? She calls the police for help a little bit after midnight, saying she hears somebody in the yard. She calls 911. 2 cops arrive. They check around the house. They go to the door. She's not there. They get into the house. A confrontation starts over boiling water. Let me explain what I mean by that. They get into the house. The lady is an African-American woman and the 2 cops are white. That has nothing to do with it, unless you think it does at the end. So they get in there. They talk to the lady. You could see right off the bat that Officer Sean Grayson is a little agitated why he's there. Maybe he thinks he's bothered or something of that nature. And within 45 seconds of them entering the living room and confronting the lady, she's dead. Yes, she gets shot. Officer Sean Grayson shoots 3 shots, hits her right under her left eye, and kills her instantly. That is what the incident is about. And it's because she was at her sink. She had water on a stove. They told her, hey, you have water on the stove. Go over there. Take care of that. We don't want to have a fire. She goes over there. She's a far distance from these cops. Now, she goes over there. You could tell she's a little like, what's going on? She says, I denounce you in the name of Jesus. This infuriated Officer Sean Grayson. He says, don't threaten me. Pulls his gun, dropped the water. The water couldn't have been thrown that far. It was way away. It was near the sink. She was putting the boiling water down. He shoots her 3 times, pulls the trigger, people. This is outrageous. I guess that's why the charge is first-degree murder. But that's the incident in question, and we're going to go a little bit deeper on why this incident happened. Law enforcement, how about the military? He was discharged from the military in other than honorable situation. He was discharged because of a DUI, and they also found a gun in his room. Now, that's a serious offense in the military. You're not supposed to have a gun. And obvious DUIs now today get you arrested. That's number 1. So now Officer Grayson gets kicked out of the military, mind you. He has a DUI. He gets another DUI when he's out. He applies to be a police officer and becomes a police officer. Okay, they're giving a guy a shot. I get it. Here's the problem. He ends up going to 6 police departments. Yes, 6 police departments in 4 years. Now, a lot of people I'm talking to in the law enforcement community are saying, hey, Larry, that's not always that uncommon, because these guys want to increase their careers. Sean is 32 now, so when this incident happened, it was a couple months ago. So he's 32 years old. He wants to advance his career. That's what his line's going to be. But 4 police departments, and he had some issues at every police department. Some police departments didn't even report it, but they have other people in the police department explaining what happened. Here's one. In Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. He works for Logan County Sheriff's Office. Less than 1 year. Has 3 incidents. He does not stop chasing a car when his supervisor said, call off the chase. He continues the case. He has 3 more violations in under a year. 3 more violations of policy violations, meaning One policy violations, he didn't report it, an incident to his supervisor. Another he falsified records. This is the kind of guy that the next department hires, and we're going to find out why. Even his supervisor who investigated the Logan County, a guy named Commander Miller, he said, I'm in an interview with you for 48 seconds, and I'm already having questions about you. But they didn't suspend him. They didn't take his gun, give him a desk job. He's still on the job, even though Commander Miller says, I have serious concern about this man's ability to be a patrol deputy. Says it like that. Even they question his decision making. That's more of what they question. Policies is just another thing. Before the investigation is done on Grayson, what does he do? He resigns. Yes, he resigns. He applies to the Sangamon County Sheriff's Department, gets accepted. Now, here's a big problem we're going to be getting into. The Logan County Sheriff's Office, which supposedly Sheriff Campbell, the sheriff of Sangamon County, said that they never gave him any information when they asked for a recommendation about this officer. And you know, law enforcement is so low on people that taking the bottom of the barrel. Let's be honest. It is suffice to say that Grayson had some issues in all the departments he was in. You don't keep jumping department unless there's a problem. And obviously, you're a 32-year-old man. He had a divorce from his wife in a violent altercation as well. So this man has questionable past. But these police departments, and this is in Sangamon County and also in Logan County, right in Illinois, they're still hiring this guy. At what point do we hold the supervisors responsible? Remember, I talk about this all the time. I'm hard, and I won't say hard, but I'm on law enforcement on this, because when you give a person a badge and a gun, you are giving them the authority to arrest a person and take their liberty away, or in this case, kill someone under the color of law. He shot this woman that night. He wasn't arrested. He went home. He did what he wanted. They tried to maneuver reports. He wasn't treated like a regular person. Now, can we just treat somebody? Yes, an investigation has to happen. But this is the problem we're having right now. What we're looking at here, more than the incident itself, which is traumatic, it really is for everybody involved, is a systematic failure of policing. And I say systematic because it's not just with the Sangamon County Police Department or the Logan County Police Department. It's with most police departments around the country. And I'm going to give you how to fix that. But that's your problem, right? It's a systematic failure. When I say systematic, a lot of people say, what do you mean? It's not only in the policies, it's in the leadership, it's in the culture of the police department. It's the no training, it's putting people out there, it's the low pay. It's a whole bunch of things. That's what the word systematic means in this case. Now, the police chief who hired this officer, Grayson, is a guy named Sheriff Campbell. Now, Sheriff Campbell has since resigned, but before he resigned, he actually, I felt in a way a little bit bad for him because I could feel the compassion in his voice when I watched videos of him talking at events. Now, he hired him. Remember, he hired this guy. Now, does he have some responsibility to really go deep, to do a good background check on a person, to maybe get some lie detector tests if they give him? I don't know what they do out in Sangamon County or even in Illinois for that matter, but they have to change how they're hiring because this guy defends the process. This is where I had a problem with him. He defended the process of hiring this guy. That blew me away. The sheriff actually said, I'm gonna have to read this quote. The vetting process has worked very well for a long time. This is an individual that acted outside the scope of authority, the scope of our policies and procedures in the law. You can't predict that. I disagree, Sheriff. I think you can predict that. Another quote by the sheriff, I have to say, and it touched me in a way because this is where I felt a little hard. And I don't just think words are something I take lightly and I'm just going to give a guy a pass because he said something like this. But this is what he said, and he is exactly right. Sonya Massey, I speak her name and I'll never forget it. This is Campbell. She called for help and we failed. That's all she did, call for help. Sheriff Campbell stepped down after that, but he is exactly right. Here's a person who called 911 for help and ends up dead, and we wonder why people don't want to call law enforcement. To make this case even more interesting and to talk about the systematic failure, is it even the 911? Donna Massey, who's the mother of Sonya Massey, a day before the incident, July 5th, 2024, called the police department and said, my daughter is having a mental incident, but she is not violent. Please don't send anybody there who is aggressive or prejudiced. Please don't send anybody there who might cause violence. She actually said that the day before her sister was killed, her daughter was killed. Think of that. Now, did anybody write down, hey, this is a mental person, should somebody go there? But we're gonna address that issue there. But think of how this is building up that nobody caught this incident. What's the legal ramifications? Let me just jump into that real quick. First of all, Officer Grayson is facing 3 first-degree murder charges, an aggravated battery with the firearm, and an official misconduct, which I laugh at stuff like that. Because if you're not going to prove this thing, and I don't even want to imagine what will happen if this person just gets off of what I saw. But here's your problem. The ramifications are this man is facing a lot. How about life in prison right now? Now, you already have Derek Chauvin with 23 years. You have another officer I just did a video about who killed an 18-year-old teen. So we are on the path of these officers doing stuff that is so out of bounds, they're being charged with the word murder. Think of that. That's a big thing. The only reason this is out there, and it's again, people can say what they want, but there's an uproar in the community. People are protesting. They have online and social media, and thank you for doing that. We need that to happen. This case, and if you look at some of the videos, and they're going to be in the links in the description below, it is outrageous when they release the body camera. And here's a part of that body camera problem. He had a body camera, but he didn't activate it. The only reason they got body camera footage is the other officer who responded to this call had his body camera on, but this officer had no body camera on. The violations are piling up, and again, we know he has policy issues. He didn't follow policy in Logan County. What people are really demanding, and what I'm here to talk about too, is the change. And will it come? I hope in my lifetime, people, I really do see change, because I am sick and tired of these people doing this. I'm a supporter of law enforcement, but we need to stop glorifying them, making them gods, and putting them on a pedestal. They are human beings who make mistakes, but this isn't a mistake, and other incidents aren't mistakes. We need to fix this, and we need to fix it now. Okay, I told you I'm going to give you guys the ways we can fix this, and I welcome any law enforcement officer or any official, government official, to give me a call to help try to implement stuff like this. Listen, I'm an honorary police officer myself, and an ex-con, so I can tell you both ends of the problem. Well, here's how you fix it. First thing you have to fix. You need comprehensive background investigations and hiring practices. This was easy to find. The media found this. This is not a deep dive into a guy who should get a deep dive investigation when you're giving him a gun and a badge and telling him to go police your citizens. That should scare some people.
7 months on.
You got a hothead
Still
here
employed by us.
doing stupid stuff already. He shouldn't have been a cop to begin with, and literally snaps and shoots this lady, and the chief of police said it. There's nobody's fault here except his. Well, chief, I disagree a little bit. You didn't do any kind of background check because you would have found it. I don't know who you called in Logan County Sheriff's Department, as you said, and they said he was a great cop. I think somebody who said that should be held accountable. How about the people who are not passing on that information? But you, as the chief, and every department, do a comprehensive background check, please. That's the first thing we can do. The second thing we can do, We need de-escalation training. Now, what do you mean, Lab? You know, let me give you one incident of de-escalating training. You're an officer. You walk up to a police car. You could see the guy's pissed. You just stopped him. What do? Do you say, license, registration? He's going to look at you like you're crazy. He's pissed off. You're a 25, 30-year-old guy. He might be a 50-year-old guy. He's saying, look at this kid come here, license. What am I, a piece of garbage? No. How about walking up to that window and saying, excuse me, sir, are you okay? The guy's going to look at you like, what's going on? Yes, sir, are you okay? I just want to make sure you're okay. You ran that stoplight. It's not about a ticket. I just want to see if you're okay and help you. That puts that man in a calmer state. It's de-escalation. Some departments are actually discussing, and I think a few are using, ride-along psychological people, psychiatrists or psychologists to ride along on domestic violence cases in some departments, and I think it's a good idea. But our cops need training. De-escalation is just one. The third thing, I don't even believe I have to say this. How about the proper use of body cameras? If he says he didn't know to put it on or he forgot, you know, this department should... Hey, listen, I don't want to hear a guy going to the bathroom with his camera. Yes, I get it, guys. These are people, too. But if you can't put... Right away, if your camera's not on, you should not only be fired, you should be prosecuted, or there should be some kind of penalty, whether it's you lose your pension, you lose years. You can't be doing what we're doing here. We're doing nothing with them. Body cameras, first of all, if there's police departments out there with body cameras, I am blown away. How can't you have body cameras today? That protects good police, or it highlights bad police. This guy tried to keep his camera off. What is that? I think that shows the prosecutors he had intent, but we need body cameras, and they need to be used correctly. Number 4, we need improved mental health and crisis intervention for the cops. Listen, guys, cops see a lot of bad stuff. We have I'm going to call him our law enforcement consultant on the show, Trooper Joe. Trooper Joe has seen accidents. He's been a trooper for 10 years. He's on the highway, seen people decapitated. He's seen major, major stuff. That has to affect you. I know. I was in the Coast Guard, and I picked up 50 dead bodies, and it affected me. And yes, I have PTSD from the military. You don't think these cops get PTSD? Well, when you recognize PTSD, you better take him off the street. You better, for his own safety. You know, the suicide rate on cops is very high. But we don't want that. What we want is to make sure these guys are mentally sound to be carrying a gun and a badge and driving a police car. That's at the minimum. And it's there to help them, so we need it. I think cops just blow it off, or police departments just blow it off, and they shouldn't. I've been screaming about number 5. Number 5, this is mine. We need community policing and strengthening of trust with communities. You know, there's a number of ways to do that. I can't get into a video like this, but we need that to be mandatory. And you don't need the head of SWAT who just got off the range shooting 500 rounds to make it perfect. Shoot, don't shoot. I get it. They need it. But we also need the guy who knows how to talk, knows how to stay calm. It is a fact, people, that female police officers have a 80% less chance. You hear what I just said? 80% less chance of altercations with the civilian population. And here's why. Normally, a female is not as big or as strong as a guy like myself. And what happens? She has to learn how to de-escalate. And they know how to do it. Well, somebody needs to train every department on that. And they need to do that training to build community policing. And please, departments, don't give me lip service. Oh, yeah, we do it. We send 2 officers to walk that beat. That's not community policing. There's a lot of things you can do. And if you want to know what they are, put it in the comments. Or you contact my office, and I'll give you a whole list of things you can do that can build community policing with the minority community, the lower income communities, and the people you want to connect with. This is a key one. This is number 6. We need enhanced officer accountability through public database. What does that mean? I am not a big Fed believer. You guys know that. But I think the federal government has to come in and put some kind of system down that all police departments report to this agency, so all other police departments can go there and check for records. Here's what I mean. If they had a database like that, and they have it, listen, they have a criminal database for me. If Larry Lawton gets stopped anywhere in the United States, they're gonna know that Larry Lawton has a record. That's guaranteed. Well, we need that accountability I'm saying with the federal government has to come in and say, listen, we, to this day, people, we don't know how many officer-involved shootings are happening. Police departments are not mandated or even, requested to put stuff in a database because there is no database. So if you have no database, these officers, you have an officer who shoots someone or doesn't, you know it's wrong. Just like the last video, we had a police officer had so many traffic infraction crashes. If we had a database where stuff can go, people can go look at it. Listen, technology has gotten to that point. We need that now, not tomorrow. They have stuff in each state. Some states, Pennsylvania has the MOCOP, which is where they report, all police departments report. And that's mandated by the state of Pennsylvania. Well, what happens if you leave the state of Pennsylvania? They should have that in every department in the United States. There's roughly 1 million cops in the United States, to let you know, and they should have that. Here is a very important one. Some departments do, some don't. We need to introduce peer intervention programs. What is peer intervention programs? We need to encourage cops, good cops, to step in when they see a bad officer. And that's the number one way you're going to bring back trust in the community. Listen, you can't have a cop that everybody knows is doing things, and you know they know. And what happens? Their own peers do nothing. It's the George Floyd incident with the 3 police officers who are now doing time. One got 3 years, another got 3.5, and another got 4.5 years in prison, besides Derek Chauvin's 23 years. All because they failed to stop Derek Chauvin from putting his knee on their neck and killing him. Now, I'm not going to get in this video about that. I'm doing a video on his innocent or guilt. You'll be surprised in that video. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe, like this video. Stay tuned because you're going to see a really good video on the Derek Chauvin guilt case. But we need that peer review, and we have to encourage it. You have to encourage let's just say a rookie cop, to not be scared to step in or go to somebody else and say, listen, I'm watching this guy and he's on roids. He must be at the gym. I don't know what he's doing, but we need to intervene. We need the peers to do it. Because when a civilian does it, the first thing the chiefs do and investigators do is, he's just a disgruntled. He got a ticket. He don't like it. And the cops know that. Now, when it comes to their peer, that's a whole different story. So we do need to institute that. Number 8, we need to have psychological evaluations, I'd say yearly, on every police officer. And again, let's not give it lip service and say, oh, how do you feel today? You good? Any problems? No? Like they do in prison? They need to be sat down. They need to have a record built. They need to be interviewed. And if they're in a police department like New York and they have a partner, they both need to be interviewed separately. You need to interview other people, maybe even interview their family or somebody like their need. Listen, they do background checks on federal officials very high, and they go very deep, and they do that yearly with a lie detector test. But we at very least need psychological evaluations on every one of these cops. You know, the more I read about this case and watched this case, you could have rogue officers like this. We're lucky he wasn't with other people in there and shot other people, because he can snap. It happens. This one, I really did a lot of research on. We need the use of real-time monitoring and AI analytics. Think of what I'm saying. If they had real-time analytics in the situation, they might have felt the situation was getting out of hand quicker. They could have it where it alerts somebody, alerts the supervisor that, hey, to get over there even before anybody calls. AI and technology has gotten to that point where we can help cops. We could stop a cop from doing something like that. If there's 5 cops, and we've seen this before, and they're all doing something, well, AI is going to know what's going on, and they can alert higher and higher officials. We can stop it. We need to use technology. Hey, listen, we're not back in the Western days. Fingerprint is not what we have. We have a lot more, and we need to use it. Here's one, number 10. Now I'm going to give you a bonus one after this. How's that? But number 10, we need a community-based review panel. What is a community-based review panel? We need to take a business owner. We need to take maybe a retired police officer. We need to take a person who knows nothing about law enforcement, maybe a teacher, and get a panel together, give them incidents or people's reports and stuff of that nature when they have any kind of report, just to get their view. When you become a police officer, or even the higher you go, you become jaded. You see so much crap out there. You see the scum of the earth. I say that with guards. Well, police officers see the bad too. They're not going to incidents where they're having a party, people, and just, hey, let's have a drink. Thank you, officer. No, they're going to an incident where it's a crack house. Or they're going into an incident where there's a mom with a very troubled teen, and she wants help. In this case, they went to a house where the mother called the day before and said, please don't send anybody over. Can you believe that? That is crazy. We need a panel. We need a civilian panel in every police department. I think it would help. Some police departments do have it, so I give them a lot of credit. Here's your bonus, everybody, and I know you're going to be shocked because you all talk about how Larry is does videos of it's bad cops. Well, listen, I'll do a video on a good cop. We need to pay the police the appropriate pay and compensation, whether it's retirement packages, and they got some of them good, but we need to really do it. You can't pay a police officer $35,000 a year and expect that man not to have either financial problems or other problems. You can't raise a family. His wife's working, if he has a wife, kids already, latchkey kids, what that means is they go to school, they come home, both parents might be working, have to go to a daycare, it's called latchkey kids. We need to pay police officers appropriately. And if you're a cop, I hope you're not. I don't care what you make, and I don't care how much overtime you make to make great salaries. There are police departments in the United States that pay pretty well. Suffolk County, New York, I think is the highest police department pay in the United States, and they pay. So that's important. If we don't pay them, here's what happens. Nobody wants to be a cop. If you paid them a very good salary, I'm going to give a number, $100,000, you would get better recruits. You would be able to retain better officers at that department because you could have bonus systems, how long they stay there, points to their retirement, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But if you don't pay them, you have them either jumping, which I have a feeling he's going to say, I'm jumping from department to department to make a few $1,000s more. They need to pay them. We could hire better officers. We can screen better officers. That's very important. That is a bonus, and thank you, cops. You deserve it. Let me give you some final thoughts. Is the system broken? Yes. Can it be fixed? Absolutely. The more I'm looking into police shootings and killings, it's more a systematic failure. It's supervision. At what point are we going to hold police chiefs and captains and commanders accountable for the works of people under them? If you're not supervising, why are you getting that pay? What are you, sitting behind a desk and going home early? No. If you're a supervisor or if you're a sheriff, you should be coming in, you should be checking your officers because you should be held accountable for people who are doing stupid things. If you didn't do certain, we can make the checks and balances, people. We just got to do it. And we need to keep the pressure on. We really do. What I say by pressure, here's what I'd like you to do. I want you in the comments, and it's actually on my YouTube pages to my community page. I put out a poll, and I want to know your view. At what age do you believe you should be allowed to be a police officer? I put 18, 21, 23, and 25. Please let me know. I can't wait to read the comments and answer these on what the people, the citizens, believe an age of a police officer should be. I have my own opinion. I'm not even going to say it yet because I don't want to skewer people's thoughts. I know what age I think they should be. I want you to tell me what they should be. Well, if you like this, please stay updated with whatever we're doing. Please like, subscribe, comment. It does help. It really does. Please do that. I'd appreciate that. Have a great day. If you have an incident in your area or something goes on where you are, please contact our office. I'd love to start doing the research. We need to keep this in the people's view. There's a lot going on in the United States, but this should be priority. Have a great day, everybody. Please stay safe, make good choices, and I'll see you soon.